All right, here, February 9th, 2016. Let me give you a quick morning briefing on some of these currencies that we've been following here. One of them, of course, is the Euro US dollar. We have an open position in that right now, and we are currently up. We got in right here at the breakout above this this candle here, this bullish kind of hammer type candle to the upside. We got in there. It's breaking past this 161.618 rather. Fib, and we're looking for it to get up into this profit zone or close to this profit zone before we look at taking profits, preferably up here to this 88.6 level, which is also a fib at the 1.13935 price on the Euro US dollar. So we'll be paying attention to that trade. Right now we're in profit on that one. Another trade that we're looking at here is the pound dollar. And as you can see, the pound dollar has obviously been in a pretty stable downtrend here for quite some time, back since September of last year, actually August, September of last year. And you can see it really took off steam here at the end of 2015 and into 2016 as we came into the new year. And you can see that it's kind of stalled out here. We've taken a run up. Okay, we created a what we call a support zone down here now at this point, and price is coming back down into that zone. Now we're looking for it to possibly bounce back up, and I'm going to go up down to the 4-hour chart here, and so that you can kind of see it here on the 4-hour chart. You can see the trend is turned up. The Ichimoku cloud is green. Obviously, price is trading above the Ichimoku cloud. And you can see that we had a breakout right here at this level. So this was a breakout. Once the trend turned up right here, we were looking for price to break above this level, and it surely did. And now price has come back down into this level. We've had two bullish, what we call bullish haramis right here. These are candlestick patterns, and we're also in what we would consider a support zone right here, where the green box is. That's a support zone, and we're coming up against the Ichimoku cloud, which is also support in and of itself. So with all of that said, we're looking for price to go back up, and we've got a great reward to risk on this particular trade. If price breaks above this level again right here, above this first bullish harami candle here, then we're looking for it to come back up at least to the 1.272, which is a price of 1.47547. And our stops are going to be below this support zone. You can see down here, here is a fractal, here's a fractal, here's the support zone, the bottom of the support zone here. So we're really looking to put our stop below this area. So you can see the reward to risk here on this particular trade is pretty enormous. If we bought in right here and we had a stop loss, say down below here, and a take profit way up here, okay, let's look at what that reward to risk ratio is. It's a 2.62 to 1 reward to risk ratio, and that's obviously what we like to see. Taking a trade, that means for every 1% we risk, we're making 2.62% back. For every $100 we put at risk, we're making $262 back. So that's a nice reward to risk ratio. We'll see if this trade actually triggers and pans out. Hoping it does, and hoping we can make some profit on it. Next one that we want to look at is the dollar yen, and I talked about that one in yesterday's video, but I'm going to go ahead and go through it again because it didn't quite do what we were wanting it to do, but we didn't get into a trade nonetheless, so no big deal there. But as you can see, we broke down, and actually let me go to the daily chart first so we can get a little clearer picture of this. We broke down below these major support levels here. So yesterday we broke down below this support level. Today we're obviously continuing that breakdown, so you can see here and there. Not really an opportunity for us to get in right there. I don't like getting in on big breakouts, big breakout levels when it's at a major support level, a big breakout, a breakdown level in this case. I don't like getting in right there because then you have, you really don't have a place to put your stop. Where's your resistance at? Where do you want to put your stop? I mean, really true resistance is way back up here, or at least back up at the cloud somewhere, maybe like right up here, and that's a pretty big gap there, right? So we want to try to take a smaller risk with a greater potential reward. Okay, so yesterday I was saying we'd be looking for price to come back up some as we broke down to the 4-hour chart. Let's see. Let me go to the 4-hour chart now again. See, yesterday, this is where it closed at, and we were looking for price to come back up into this area right here, which is obviously a support zone. If I draw, or a resistance zone, rather, if I draw a box there, you'll see that. To come back up into between this area here and this area up here. Obviously, that's what we were looking for, and that didn't happen. It continued on the downside. Now, what do we have? Well, we still have this zone right here. So all we're looking for is for price to come back up into this zone right here, give us, or close to it, and then give us an opportunity to sell through either a candlestick type pattern, or even if we can get some kind of a harmonic pattern out of this, something along those lines to give us an indication to go short and to continue to sell this market. Obviously, you can see that this is, if we go down to the daily chart, you can see that this is in a downtrend here, okay? It's in a downtrend, obviously, on the 4-hour chart. And if we go to the pound yen, you can see the pound yen also is in a massive downtrend, and it's kind of stalled out down here at this bottom level. So I think that this is going to break further down. I mean, obviously, you can see how strong of a downtrend this is. So, I'm still looking for this to break down below this level here, but it hasn't yet. It's stalled out right here. So we could see kind of the same thing here on this. We could see a push back up, or a breakdown, and then a push back up into resistance, and then a further breakdown. So we're still looking at these couple of currency pairs here, the dollar yen, the pound yen, and we'll see what happens there. And, they could completely reverse and go the opposite direction. But, hey, that's why we wait on a proper trade setup, right? So we haven't gotten into those markets quite yet. The last currency that I want to look at here is the dollar Swiss franc. Now, this one, obviously, you can see we were in a really nice uptrend from all the way back to July of last year. We kind of formed an uptrend, and we bounced around a little bit at first, and then boom, shot up, had a correction, shot up again, got up back to these old highs here, and stalled out just recently over the last week or so. And we've had a massive drop off, and you can see down here that our RSI is oversold now. And anytime that usually happens, if we close oversold, we're generally going to get a pop back in the opposite direction. Now, I'm not saying that the trend on this, or the momentum on this, is going to completely shift, but usually we do get a pop back in the opposite direction. You can see we got oversold, overbought here. What happened? We popped back, we got a correction. We got overbought here, we popped back for a day, we got a correction. We got overbought here, we popped back for a couple of days, we got a correction, right? And so on and so forth. And you can see this over and over again. We got oversold here. What do? We had a pop back and a correction, then price came back down into this zone, and then boom, popped out again. Right here, we were overbought. You can see what happened. Boom, we popped down, we had a correction, right? So anytime we get into that overbought, oversold territory, we can say that we're going to have a correction. Now, this may be just a small correction here, where we get a one-day correction back up into this profit zone. And if that's the case, then we're going to be looking, can we take an opportunity to sell this again? Once again, it's all about getting the good reward to risk. So if we pop back up halfway into this zone, and we can take a smaller risk with a much larger potential reward, maybe down here to this next area right here, this support area right here, then we're going to take that opportunity, because once again, we're all about taking small risk with big rewards. Okay, so the dollar Swiss franc, we're going to be looking at this one as well. So the dollar yen, dollar Swiss franc, we're going to be looking at those two. Even the pound yen, you can be putting that on your watch list as well for the things that I talked about. Now, we currently have a position open in the euro dollar. We have a position that we're going to be looking at potentially for the pound dollars I discussed in this video. And then the dollar yen, dollar Swiss franc, pound yen, we'll be keeping our eyes on those currencies in kind of a little watch list to see what happens here over the next day or so, and if there's any opportunities to get into those plays as well. All right, hope you enjoyed this morning briefing. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.